Outstanding.
All right. Hi.
Hello, everybody.
Thanks for clicking on our faces. It's been a while, but we are back. We got a little sick.
Yes.
Some of us. I wonder if you can just pick who.
Go ahead, Vic, go ahead and talk so we can hear that.
Right? She's all like, I'm fine, y'all. I'm fine.
Why you make it sound like Jesse from Toy Story?
I'm fine, y'all.
I'm fine. Let's go save Buzz.
But we are back to finish off the season 2 of What If for you guys. So it is a 3-for-1. We're going to go through the final 3, episodes 7, 8, 9 of What If. Now, to kick things off, we start off with episode 7. We got Hela, right, from Thor's sister. And she, interesting. Speaking of Hela.
That was damn good. It's a shame that you can't see the actual face, but that was damn good. I chuckled at that. That was good. You tried to one funniest host already. God damn it.
I am. I'm working on it for 2024. Hey! Satan himself, thanks for joining us in the but oh no, not the look. We were forgive us. We got some technical difficulties in the background. I don't know why they keep putting this glitchy background.
Yeah, no, they want to punish the viewer.
Right, exactly. But no, never. Let's get back to the episode.
Yes,
Hela. She gets banished by Odin. Odin pretty much says the same words that he told Thor in Thor movie 1. Like, you know, he takes her powers from her pretty much and banishes her from Asgard.
Doesn't it make you kind of say, why didn't this happen in the prevent Ragnarok at all? Like, because he pretty much says you're bloodthirsty, right? You just want to kill. You're a killer machine. Although he did that himself, he made her that way, right? And now it's I want peace and love, and whoever shall wear this helmet shall have the power of Helena. I said, please, but carry on. I'm sorry. I think this could have been totally prevented.
Hey Dan, thanks for watching. It was cold.
Damn it, Dan.
No, well, at least not for me. I had the flu. I don't know what was going on elsewhere on the panel here, but not COVID, thank goodness.
Nah, definitely not COVID. I'm just sick.
Yeah. So she ends up getting banished to the realm of Shang-Chi, where the Mandarin is, right? Now this is the Mandarin before he had his baby, I'm assuming, because he's a young man, and he is kind of taken with Hela. She's like, okay, you have these abilities, you're very much, strong, powerful woman.
He loved powerful women.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, he was really not I don't want to say aggressive, like but he knew what he wanted.
Facts.
Yeah. He put out this outfit for her. She puts it on, red, bloodthirsty. It's all going with the vibe, and she's just kind of looking to get her powers back. She's trying to get her crown back. She's trying to get her powers.
She tries to lift the darn thing. Isn't that amazing? Like, I didn't know that. Okay, I'm sorry. So when the helmet comes off, right? I didn't know it had the same properties as Mjolnir, where how like Thor in the first one, he couldn't lift it because he was stripped of his powers. And even though I knew she was stripped of her powers, I just didn't know, like, oh wow, if Odin, once again, wish Odin did this in the first place. Seeing that she couldn't lift that, I was just taken back by that. Yeah, Odin is a hypocrite, and he's old. You can't really trust old people.
And the fact that she kind of goes, they had like this little battle between Hela and Mandarin. I thought that was interesting. And Dan points out in the comments, I can't forget Shang-Chi variant at another time.
Yeah, but you're the variant though. I be seeing your page on Instagram. You're the variant. We just gotta get you on What If.
Yeah, on your cosplay.
Yeah, we gotta get you on the show, man.
But honestly, for me, this might be controversial to say. I feel like the Mandarin is more interesting than Shang-Chi himself. Like, I feel like his daddy has a very interesting story. And I almost wish that we got to see like a little bit more of it in Shang-Chi. I feel like I want an origin story just of him. Like, Shang-Chi can come when he got his, but the daddy story is really interesting to me. The fact that he had, this whole
Daddy Chang.
Yeah. And he was just so I hate to overuse the terms we use it like this episode, but bloodthirsty, but the fact that he was, trying to get back with his wife and everything. I don't know. All of it just seemed really interesting. I was like, I can do with more of this. So I'm glad that he got a little shine in this episode as well. But we get to see how Hela, she kind of becomes accustomed to all the goings on in their city, like their little town. And she's slowly but surely kind of coming from underneath the shadow of what her father had made her to be into her own woman by the end of the episode, which I thought was really interesting and an interesting twist. What did you guys think of her overall character arc in this episode?
Vic, why don't you take the floor first, sir?
Well, I thought it was definitely interesting because, she came in as a heel, as a bad guy, and then she's always been a bad guy. But then the entire dynamic of basically how she was just like in training for Mortal Kombat type of situation, like that all of that was pretty interesting. And then she just comes out and then ends up being Thor. If that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like that, just I like that whole twist, because she went in there like vindictive, ready to fight, ready to be evil, ready to take over, and then she comes out as being Odin and better than Odin, and like more peaceful than Odin and all of that, which was a great twist, So it's kind of like, turn a bad girl into a good girl type of thing, which is very rare. So what I liked about this episode is that like it wasn't predictable. Like when I saw her get her powers back, I expected her to go
back, right?
Yeah, to do all kinds of, because I didn't see that happening either. But then the father's all like, hey, it's time for me to pass the reins. I'm getting old. Daughter, you're my Charlotte Flair. You can do all the things, and you're amazing.
Wait, is Charlotte Flair? I'm sorry, I don't watch. Is that Ric Flair's daughter or something?
Yes.
Well, give it away. Was it Flair?
Yes.
I was wondering because I just saw what's it called, the Iron Claw, and they had Ric Flair.
Oh,
yeah, it was a really good movie, and his part was hilarious.
Yeah, I heard Ric Flair wasn't even really Ric Flairing in that movie. It's hilarious. I heard the movie's sad. I'm surprised. Wow, I can't wait to hear your views on it after the show. I want to hear this. This whole thing with the fight, it almost seemed like it was. So it's cool. Helena becomes like the good gal, right? She goes from black to white. Yeah, and now she's angelic, and she's an angel. She's the angel of death or whatever, right?
Yeah, you didn't see that coming.
Yeah, but it just seemed like this fight was not even needed, because after the fight, Odin's all of a sudden like, my daughter, you have made me proud. What? Like, you was ready to, you banished your daughter. You was ready to kick your daughter's ass. You won the 10 rings, right?
But look. She outsmarted him. So listen, I'm not gonna lie. My little brother outsmarts me. My goddaughter outsmarts me. I'm proud.
No, Vic, you got to send a message. Gift
I
them back.
get
Well,
that.
now
No,
is
I
the
get
time.
that. That's fair.
It's such a good time, Vic.
That's fair. But here's the thing: you see the kids grow, and you see them do things that you never thought they would do.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And then, you gotta give it to them. Like for the look, he could have been vindictive as her, and be like, no, I'm gonna do something else. I'm gonna take something else away, and I'm gonna show you, right? But no, he saw that she learned her lesson. Mind you, she got out of the spell. She got out of the spell herself on her own merits.
Well, one of the things we're not including, and I felt like just when we go to the next episode, I don't want to spend too much time, is that you were talking about the spell, right?
Mm-hmm.
It really, I think, was the training when she went into that forest that will crush you if you don't get out of it in time, and then go into this woman who taught her how to meditate, how to use her power for good, or use her power like against enemies, because she had to learn how to fight without being Helena. If she was Helena, she would have wrecked people, right? But now she has to actually learn how to fight. I just wanted to include that part because I thought that was really cool seeing that. It gave me what's that movie? Mulan, when Mulan would make a man out of you. She was not made a man out of, but a god out of, I want to say. Make a god out of you. Just changing the lyrics.
But yeah, that was episode 7, and that kind of transitions us into episode 8, where we finally get the payoff from a couple episodes prior with Captain Carter. We are transported to 1602, right? And this is
the executive consultant would know about that time.
for a second. But yeah, we're transported to 1602, and we get a big cast of characters. I'd say one of the most we've gotten in a while. So we have Ant-Man in this episode. We have Tony Stark. We have Captain America, Captain Carter, Thor, Loki.
I'm about tired of Steve.
Tired of Steve?
Yes. I just realized you said Steve. You said Captain America. I'm like, why is he here? We already have a captain.
I like him.
I can't stand him. But this is interesting. But carry on. I'm sorry.
So we're transported there, and it's kind of like a Robin Hood. They called Steve, what they call him, Stephen Hood or something like that.
We're supposed to be like Robin Hood, right?
Yeah, and he's taken from the rich, given to the poor. And also
Such a good
Hulk.
guy.
And I forgot to mention the Hulk is in this episode, and pretty much Thor.
Let me tell you something, brother.
Thor is the king of this realm, and for whatever reason, he has it against Captain Carter. And I'm like, what? Why was he so?
Well,
mad?
she's supposed to protect this timeline, right? And she messes up somehow, some way. So when that happens, now all of a sudden, I guess it's just if you make a mistake, off with your head immediately.
Mm-hmm. So when Captain Carter gets planted there, like I said, there's this bad blood for whatever reason between her and Thor. So much so that they become at odds by the end of the episode. So we have Captain Carter and her little crew. We got Bruce Banner on her team. We got Tony Stark on her team. And again, I just want to say it's really nice seeing Tony Stark in these what ifs, because of course we can't have him in the MCU because he passed away. But it's nice to get like a little taste of Tony in these what if episodes. And also we have Loki, who opened up the episode. And as soon as I heard the voice, y'all know since season 2 of Loki, I've had like a little thing for Loki. And now every time I hear a voice, I'm like, okay, yes, I'm here for it. I'm here for Loki, however we can get him. And so pretty much Captain Carter is trying to stop Thor from just being a jerk. Thor and all his people, right? We've got Happy in this episode as well. He's working with Thor. He's working for Thor. But what did you guys think of episode 8? Like, what did you feel about the whole cast of characters that we got, the overall arc? What did you think?
I think it was comedy filler, because just seeing all of the Avengers in 1602, like around the time of like when the pilgrims were showing up over here, and just a lot of things that a lot of it was interesting, especially like just showing the difference between Tony Stark and Peggy Carter as far as the conversations they were having, where Tony Stark was just fascinated by the things that she was saying with words that still haven't come out about things that still haven't come out. Just that whole dynamic was pretty much just interesting. And I felt like a lot of this thing was pure comedy. Now, the other thing is that the Watcher is heavily involved in this. Heavily involved in this. And, and mind you, he's sitting there having conversations with Peggy. And like, hey, I can hear you. Like,
why do you think Captain Carter can hear the Watcher and speak to him and all of that? And no one else.
I think that. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna say it might have something to do with because she did, when they worked together in season 1. I think that's why the other characters didn't, but she does. I think there's a certain aura that she could feel. I know that sounds weird, but like she could just almost feel him, and that's why she's like, "Yeah, I can hear you. I know you're there." Because there's a few times where she. And the episode leading to this, the last episode she was in, she called for him. She said, "Watcher."
Mm-hmm.
I think she just. I think there's something that's like I won't say she has like some telekinesis or anything like that, but she can almost feel when he's around.
I think this whole thing, at least from this episode, is the setup for people understanding that we're gonna have several seasons of this. Because look, at the end of last season, it was the Watcher and Doctor Strange going back and forth, right? And now it's Peggy Carter and the Watcher going back and forth. So clearly, the Watcher is just an integral part of this series, right? And clearly there's going to be more. How much more? Who knows? But the fact is that, listen, they had fun with this. I had fun with this, because unfortunately I wasn't able to make a lot of these shows that you guys did in the past, couple of weeks. But I watched everything, and it's incredible. Like they one of the great things about animation is that they can just take it anywhere. And then a lot of this stuff is pretty much just came back from the original story, but they took it to several different places. Like after this, Agent Carter can get a spinoff. If that happens, I'm here for it. I'll be here to watch it. So when it comes to this episode,
I enjoy Captain Carter. I also like the little tragic story that they have, because her and Steve, like they mentioned in the episodes, they never get their happy ending, and it's just very intriguing. And in this episode, we did get the return of Happy Hulk Hogan, as Dan likes to say, the Purple Hulk thing. And I was wondering, what was this like canon now? Does he have like this ability?
No, you know what I feel. I feel like when Marvel has something, they overdo it. They said, you know what? Let's put that Purple Hulk back out there. We have something there. I think that's what it is, because there was no reason for this Hulk to be here.
Yeah.
When it was in the Christmas episode, I was cool with it. It was fine. You remember, you can change me back, right, Tony? Apparently in 1602, this Tony's smarter than Tony in our timeline.
I didn't understand the return of the Purple Hulk of Happy.
But I think it goes to what saying though. I didn't mean to cut you off, Vic, but I think it goes back to what you were saying, where they just want to have fun with it. I think they created this new creature, right? And they said, let's go with it. Almost like the same thing with Captain Carter. I mean, I know it's in the actual comics and stuff like that, but I feel like What If is really the Captain Carter show.
Probably.
That's what it feels. It feel like borderline Captain Carter and like the Hulk. Not the Hulk. What's his name? Thor, because he's in like every other episode.
Oh yeah, too. Thor was yeah. That's true. That's true. I was telling someone, because someone was talking about the What If, and I was like, and I feel like Marvel they will always throw out Spider-Man. We didn't get no Spider-Man this season.
Yeah.
I think that's
true.
interesting.
That is,
That
I
is
mean,
very
well,
true.
you know what though? You know what though? But the Spider-Verse movie kind of covers that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So like,
I think because it was such a big Miles year, so maybe they
Mhm.
were like, all right, yeah, people focus
Yeah.
on Miles more than Peter. I don't know, but
That's fair.
But when it comes to this, I think when it comes to Happy's been in every movie since Iron Man 1 in some way or form or something, just about every single movie. I think they really wanted to have fun with him and just his character because like he is just a really, really big part of all of the entire Avengers. So yeah, I really enjoyed it, especially him being a Hulk and then him still having his like right hand man responsibilities, if that makes sense.
We didn't get a chance to mention her, but she was teased in the last Captain Carter episode. But Wanda is also in episode 8. And I just hate sometimes how they do Wanda, because when she's not being, super evil, they make her seem like she's just so.
She's just there.
I can barely control my powers. I'll faint if I like. They give her very much like the old X-Men.
They nerfed her. They nerfed her.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. Yeah, but
they always seem to make her like she's fainting or she's almost powered out, and unless she's an evil character, then she's like you're just mad and like. I don't know. That's what I don't know.
I think they had to nerf her just for the episode, but I do understand the frustration when like hands down, Wanda could hold her own, and she's like almost like not necessarily the damsel in distress, but still, I broke a nail.
Yeah.
What am I gonna do?
I'm still waiting for the second season of WandaVision.
Like they have Thor, who's super powerful as well. They never do that to him, so it's like they only do it to her because
it's because he's a blonde.
well, a redhead.
That's why I'm going to change my hair blonde. You see, this red is not going to help me.
I mean, it's disappointing because when WandaVision came out, everybody was hype. Everybody was hype, and we were waiting to see more, especially from Jessica Rambo. But the whole thing felt so EC3. It felt so like such a disappointment. It just, it was just a big hype up and then nothing. You know what I mean? Like, hopefully she gets her Loki season 2, but we'll see. We'll see because but like you said, she was mentioned in there, so that might mean something.
They said
we supposed to get a Wanda episode.
I hope so. I mean, look, I'm still waiting on Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I want to see more Black Falcon.
Well, the movie's coming. The movie's coming. I don't know about the show, but the movie's definitely coming.
I think we're done with the show. I think that was all the setup for the movie.
Okay.
But to go into the final episode of What If season 2. Now, this one had a lot going on. Now, I've been on record by saying that my favorite episode of season 1 was the Doctor Strange episode, right? But I feel like they milking it. They milking the hell out of this Doctor Strange Sorcerer Supreme. Because he's
that explains why there's a lot of milk on the floor.
Yes, a lot of milk on the floor. It's too much. Because it's like, how many times we want to go back to this arc? Right? We get it. He wants the girl to be back alive. He didn't get it. I thought we covered that in season 1. Now it's like we gotta pull back to this again. They gotta bring the zombies back again. It's like, are we running out of material? Like, what's going on? This is What If you can do anything, and you decide to bring back the same damn story from season 1? I don't get it.
Because he holds grudges. That's why. I guess he's never let loose that his world is. I forgot about not episode 1. What was that? Season 1, the final episode. Did he get his world back? Because it's been a while since I watched that. Season.
No, what happened was in season 1, if I can remember right, he could never bring her back because it was the Nexus event or a canon event.
Yeah, it was a canon event, right?
And he ended up absorbing so many evil spirits that it deformed himself, and like he just be kind of
he was in like a world of his own.
Yeah,
and I remember that, but I was saying after because the Watcher didn't. He went back, right? So he was just in a world of his own.
Yeah, it was that was the end. Which was good.
That was the end of his world. Okay.
Yeah, not everything has to have a happy ending, you know.
And that's what I liked about that episode. That's what something
Yeah.
I thought was kind of missing in this season. Where I mean, I had a lot of fun with this episode, this season. I thought the season was fantastic, and I'm glad that I was able to review it with you guys. But that was something I kind of thought, like, man, it would have been nice if we didn't have always a happy ending. And maybe there was some stuff that wasn't a happy ending, but I thought that was such a really good way to let you know, like, oh yeah, not always going to get that happy ending.
Yeah.
And I felt like we didn't get a lot of that in this season.
But they dusted it off and brought it back to life in this season yet again. Even so, like I said, it's more of the same, zombies, more of the same Infinity Stones. We had
Killmonger.
Yeah, we had Killmonger back again. It's like,
and you know how I knew? Not even because of the voice. I heard dun 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 dun. You know that music I always play in the background when he shows up.
Yeah, and then you know what I thought this thought hit me as I was watching these 3 episodes. Because again, as we mentioned before, a lot of the voice actors came back to reprise the role. But because it's a cartoon, they have the ability to make these characters look just like the actors, but they choose not to do that. And I wonder if it's to avoid having to pay for their likeness.
Or
probably.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, because it's like they look like them, but it's off enough that if you didn't know.
Right, because Tony looks like Tony, but it's like, you wish Tony.
Yeah, Steven, Captain Carter, everybody looks like a little bit off. And we did get the return of our girl, Kahari.
Kahari!
Yeah, from episode
I love
6,
Kahari.
Yeah, so she did return. She was tricked, as was Captain Carter, by Doctor Strange and
Evil Strange
shenanigans. But they were able to, of course, fight back and save the day.
This episode was nothing but woman power. That's what this was, because they got together. Damn it, Dan wrote in there Kahari with the 10 rings, and I forgot about that. Right, she had the 10 rings. Doctor Strange was killing people. There was like a portal, and Kahari, I don't know if it's like a love interest, but the guy that was in that episode,
her boo,
yeah, and then she has the 10 rings. Captain Carter have Mjolnir. I think she's wearing some kind of armor, the Infinity Stone. I said, I get what you mean by there was a lot going on here, because I was having a hard time keeping up.
Yeah,
it was hard to keep up.
Yeah,
multiples of everybody. Doctor Strange had made multiples of himself. Captain Carter made multiples of herself. She got the Infinity Stones. They're fighting with powers. It's zombies and Hela and everybody. It was like they was throwing it all against the wall. They're like, look, this is the season. Season.
I just think they'll have such a good time for the last season. The last episode. They're like, well, what do we do? They just said everything.
Yeah, everything.
Just put everything to the wall. And I still didn't mind. I mean, I think there's episodes that was better, of course, but I can't help but just keep saying I just had such a good time with this season. And Dan, Dan put in the chat saying that there's going to be a season 3. I know we're going to be here to review it, but it's just really exciting. Like, they just had so much fun with the season. You could tell by each and every episode. And yeah, this was fun. And I'm glad that also too, they have so much fun that they created Kahari. Kahari is an original character. And I thought they did justice with that.
Yeah.
I mean, we did a cheap plug. We did a review on that, so you can watch that back. But I really thought that they did she had a good shine. Like this, even though we said this is the Captain Carter show, she stood out.
Yeah,
Was it like she was a tree or a plant?
Definitely a standout of the season. Again, overall, I did enjoy season 2. The final episode, like I said, it feels like a little bit too much, but I enjoyed the season overall. And of course, I'll be happy to do another season. When that comes out, season 3. But the next Disney Plus release actually is coming out as Echo. And now, if you watched Hawkeye, like I hope you did, because it was a good show. Echo was in Hawkeye. She was dating her cousin.
You gotta stop that. We gotta grow up, see. You know why you're sick? You caught the echo. That's what happened. That's why you're sick. Right. That's what happened. Echo just put a curse on you.
But I'm excited to return back to the Hawkeye street level type of villainry and superherodom, and see what's going on with Echo, because Echo, I've only ever heard of Echo through the series of Hawkeye.
Yeah.
So I'm just really excited to get back to that. So if you enjoyed that and want to talk about that with us, join us next. Is it next week?
It is next week.
Yeah,
but
next
real
week.
quick, I just wanted to throw in because you mentioned street level things, street level of like heroes and villains. They said I saw IGN put that Kingpin is going to be like the street level version of Thanos. So I think that's great because the actor who plays him has done a fantastic job, and it's not even just because of Hawkeye. If you've watched all 3 seasons of Daredevil, fantastic stuff, by the way. You know how good Vincent. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce his last name. I forget. He does a great job. So I look forward to that. And I also look forward to them bringing back some sort of grittiness that I feel like they stepped away from. And the Netflix series have done a great job. So I think that's going to be great. And I'm excited to talk about it with you guys next week. I mean, you guys want to explain how we're going to do it next week?
So because they are releasing every episode all at once, we are going to be breaking it down into 2 extended episodes. We're going to be talking about episode 1 through 3 in one show, and the final 2 episodes in another show. So join us next week for that. And also, if you'd like a little bit more unpopular review, tune in immediately after this episode to Unpopular Review on YouTube, because they're going to be talking about Pulp Fiction in just a few minutes. So if you enjoyed that 90s classic, join the movie team for that on YouTube. And yeah, that's it for us. Let us know how you think, what you thought about the show. What if all together? Join us next week for Echo. And don't forget to leave us a like. Bye. Do we have an outro? Do we? Do we want to do an outro?
Here's the outro.
El diablo, pero y entonces. Sponsored by Vicks Vapor Rub. What the hell?